This article, titled Investigation of Neurophobia Amongst North American Veterinary Students and Development of a Veterinary Neurophobia Scoring Tool, VetNeuroQ, delves into a phenomenon known as neurophobia in veterinary medical education. Neurophobia, characterized by negative attitudes toward neurology, has been observed in human medical education, and this study aimed to examine its presence and impact among veterinary students in North America. The research sought to understand student perceptions of neurology and explore contributing factors to neurophobia. The study also investigated veterinary educators' views on student neurophobia and developed and validated a scoring tool called VetNeuroQ to measure its severity. The study involved surveying veterinary students and faculty across North American veterinary schools. To ensure comprehensiveness, the survey tool was developed by drawing upon existing surveys and literature reviews on neurophobia in human medical education. Further refinement was achieved through focus group discussions with veterinary students, input from psychometricians, and peer review by student and faculty volunteers. The survey, designed to evaluate student perceptions of neurology both independently and in comparison to other subjects, also addressed potential learning barriers and desired interventions. A separate survey was created to assess teachers' perceptions of their students' neurology learning and their efforts to mitigate potential neurophobia. The surveys were distributed in October 2021 and data collection concluded in January 2022. A key component of the study was the development of the VetNeuroQ scoring tool. A subset of items in the student survey, adapted from a validated neurophobia scale used in human medical education, formed the basis of this tool. These items encompassed 4 key dimensions of neurophobia: interest, perceived difficulty, confidence, and knowledge. The scoring tool included 14 items for clinical students and 10 items for preclinical students, employing a 5-point Likert scale to assess agreement with statements related to neurology. Scores for each dimension were generated and combined to yield an overall VetNeuroQ score, with lower scores indicating more severe neurophobia. Analysis of the student survey responses, representing 612 veterinary students, revealed significant findings regarding student perceptions of neurology. Notably, 35.9% of students reported insufficient neurology training, and a majority perceived neurology as challenging to learn. Concepts like neuroanatomy, physiology, and neurolocalization were considered particularly difficult. Students expressed low confidence in neurology compared to other topics and displayed limited interest in specializing in neurology or neurosurgery. Interestingly, 61.7% of educators reported observing neurophobia among their students, aligning with the students' self-reported perceptions. Comparison of neurology to other subjects unveiled that students rated their confidence in neurology significantly lower than in other areas like cardiology, gastroenterology, and renal/urinary medicine, with only ophthalmology receiving a similarly low rating. This trend was mirrored in student interest and specialization, with neurology and neurosurgery being ranked considerably lower than other specialties. The study explored various barriers to learning neurology, with the most prominent being the extensive volume of content, the conceptual difficulty of the subject, and limited hands-on labs and experiences. Neurolocalization, along with neuroanatomy and physiology, also emerged as significant challenges. Interestingly, students perceived clinical veterinarians as more effective teachers than non-clinical or non-veterinarian instructors, particularly in neuroanatomy and neurophysiology courses, underscoring the importance of a clinical context in teaching. This was further supported by the students' strong preference for additional resources like hands-on labs, clinical cases, and discussions with neurology clinicians. Analysis of the VetNeuroQ scale demonstrated its high reliability and validity in measuring veterinary neurophobia. The scores indicated that neurophobia was present among veterinary students, with scores generally improving over the course of their education. However, it is important to note that the overall rate of neurophobia remained relatively high, at 51.6%, comparable to rates observed in human medical education. Several key conclusions emerged from this study. The research confirmed the existence of neurophobia among North American veterinary students, highlighting its potential impact on learning and future clinical practice. The study emphasizes the need for early interventions to address this phenomenon, focusing on areas like neuroanatomy, neurolocalization, and providing a clinical context to preclinical learning. The VetNeuroQ scale, a valuable tool developed and validated through this research, enables the screening of students for neurophobia and the evaluation of educational interventions aimed at mitigating its effects. Figure 1 illustrates students' confidence levels in neurology compared to other topics. Part A shows significantly lower confidence in neurology and ophthalmology than in other subjects. Part B demonstrates how confidence in all topics, including neurology, increases with progression through veterinary training. Figure 2 focuses on students' interest in specializing in various fields. Part A reveals that interest in neurology/neurosurgery is significantly lower than in other specialties. Part B shows that interest in neurology rises considerably after completion of a neurology clinical rotation. Figure 3 depicts the perceived ease of neurolocalization across different training stages. The figure illustrates an initial dip in perceived ease after learning neuroanatomy, followed by gradual improvement throughout the training process. Table 2 provides a demographic overview of the student survey respondents. It details the distribution of age, gender, racial/ethnic identity, and year of training. Table 3 compares student and teacher rankings of perceived barriers to learning neurology. While some alignment exists in areas like content volume and complexity, notable discrepancies are evident regarding the need for more lectures, the difficulty of the neurological examination, and the influence of teacher enthusiasm. Table 4 presents the results of the confirmatory factor analysis conducted to validate the VetNeuroQ scale. The table displays the unstandardized regression weights for each item in the scale, indicating their significance and contribution to the overall measurement of neurophobia. Figure 4 visually represents the factor loading of items from the VetNeuroQ scale onto the factors of perceived ease, confidence, and knowledge. This figure demonstrates how individual items relate to these key dimensions of neurophobia. Figure 5 displays a frequency histogram of the overall VetNeuroQ scores obtained from the students. The normal distribution of scores is evident in the figure. The study's findings suggest various curricular changes that could enhance neurology education and reduce neurophobia. These include increased access to neurology rotations, integration of neurology content throughout the curriculum, consistent terminology use, and leveraging digital media to supplement learning. The research also highlights the need to bridge the gap between student and teacher perceptions, fostering a collaborative approach to improve educational experiences. Finally, the study underscores the importance of continued research into veterinary neurophobia, particularly among practicing veterinarians, to understand its long-term impact and inform interventions. From VetNeuroQ, keep those minds inspired, hearts light, and tails wagging.